courage. It is courage and courage alone that gives someone the ability to try, even when the odds against them seem great. It is courage that drives 3 women to leave their native country to start a new religious order. It is courage that motivates a small group of women to take over a hospital. And it is courage that allows the Sisters of Charity of the Incarnate Word to care for the sick and infirm of every kind, including those for whom others will not care. 150 years ago, 3 sisters answered the call of Bishop Claude Dubuis, the Bishop of the Diocese of Galveston.
He said, "Our Lord Jesus Christ, suffering in the persons of a multitude of sick and infirm of every kind, seeks relief at your hands." That's been our founding call. That's our continual call to minister to Jesus' suffering. And so we meet him in the persons everywhere.
On October 25, 1866, they arrived. They learned the language, built a hospital, and answered God's call to care for the sick, the poor, and the deprived. Only months after opening that first hospital's doors, a yellow fever epidemic hit Texas. The first Mother Superior of the Sisters of Charity died. A second sister fell ill. That left only one, Sister Joseph, at just 27 years old, alone, leading the hospital and the congregation. But more sisters would come, and under the leadership of Sister Joseph, the congregation would spread.
They came with great faith and trust in God. It reminds me of the gospel. You know, the mustard seed is very small, but it grows into a big bush. And I think our congregation is like that. Began very, very small.
By 1900, their mission had indeed spread, including additional hospitals, a nursing school, and an orphanage in Galveston. It is in Galveston that year that the courage of the sisters was truly tested, as the deadliest natural disaster in American history struck, a Category 4 hurricane, bringing winds of over 150 miles an hour and a 20-foot storm surge. As the winds beat against their seafront orphanage, the 10 sisters gathered the 90 children in one room.
They were so scared, but they tried their level best to save those children.
The nuns led them in song as each tied a clothesline around her waist and connected it to 10 children.
When the tidal wave came and the waters from the bay came and converged on Galveston, the buildings were just sunk.
Only 3 of the 90 children survived. None of the sisters did. The sisters were found still holding tight to the children tied to their waists. The Galveston storm left 6,000 people dead, and the island completely destroyed.
That has always become a point in our history that we remember each year, and we commemorate the terrific courage those women had to take care of those children.
It took the Sisters of Charity just 1 year to rebuild, and they continued expanding their mission. In 1923, the pastor of St. Anthony Parish in downtown Long Beach wrote to the sisters in Galveston that a hospital was for sale. The founder of the Long Beach Hospital, which was built in 1907, had decided to sell, and Father John Haggerty thought the Sisters of Charity should buy it. For a purchase price of $160,000, the sisters answered the call. 6 nuns came to Long Beach and renamed the hospital St. Mary. Just 10 years later, the sisters again confronted devastation as the Long Beach earthquake of 1933 struck. As ceilings and walls fell around them, the sisters and nurses removed the patients to the hospital lawn. Miraculously, not a single patient was lost or injured. While the building was no longer habitable, the hospital continued providing care, first from a small cottage and then from a new building.
other natural disasters have gone on through the years and years. And in California, you can expect an earthquake every now and then. So it was no different to overcome that obstacle and for the sisters to keep on going.
The courage of these sisters shone through as they raised the money necessary to continue expanding to meet the needs of a growing community. In July of 1976, Sister Lucille Desmond took over the leadership of St. Mary Medical Center.
I was very happy because we all look forward to going to California.
She would lead the hospital until July 1st, 1990, the longest serving administrator in St. Mary's history.
We had a tremendous staff of physicians. They were all specialists in their own right. And that's why we were able to give excellent care. If I was 50 years younger, I would love to go back and spend the next 50 years there.
10 years into Sister Lucille's mission, Long Beach found itself in the center of a battle against a disease few understood.
That was the time we had AIDS patients, and we had a doctor that was tremendously interested in AIDS patients, and we agreed to accept them.
During that time, when there was a lot of fear about caring for HIV and AIDS patients, Sister Lucille launched Long Beach's first clinic to minister to their needs.
The sisters, led by Sister Lucille, took it upon themselves to make sure that the people who were not receiving the care that they desperately needed in other places, that they were going to receive that here at St. Mary. So they developed the CARE program.
In its 30-year history, CARE has become the gold standard in providing HIV specialty care and services.
So the sisters didn't just look at the person as like, oh, okay, we're going to make sure that you get a good doctor, you're going to get some medicine, and you go on your way. No, each person is much more than just taking pills and seeing their doctor. They make sure that they're receiving food. They're making sure that they have connection to housing. Those are the types of things that we still do to this day. Beyond the patient care it provides, the program also has been involved in clinical trials that led to the development of drugs that prevent and treat HIV and AIDS.
When people don't want to do something, our sisters get in there and they do it. And I'm proud to say that that's another instance, it's another example of just faith and courage and biting the bullet where it is and recognizing a need and responding to the need.
Over the last 150 years, the Sisters of Charity of the Incarnate Word have courageously continued expanding their work. From Texas to California and 5 additional countries, from caring for the vulnerable to caring for us all. They also remain an integral part of St. Mary Medical Center and are helping to guide the next chapter of the hospital's growth, which will include a multi-million-dollar renovation and expansion of the hospital's emergency room.
With great faith and trust in God, people can do just about anything. With just a small band of people, they started a congregation that would be now celebrating its 150th anniversary.